The internal memo that sent shivers down OpenAI's spine didn't reveal a competitor's secret weapon. It confirmed their own multi-billion-dollar investments are rapidly becoming worthless. The very foundation of Silicon Valley's AI empire, built on massive compute and proprietary data, is crumbling. You see, the terrifying reality is that the AI arms race is no longer about who can build the biggest model, but who can build the smartest, most efficient, and crucially, most accessible one. By the time we're done, you will understand the hidden mechanism by which a decentralized global network of developers is not just catching up, but in many critical areas, quietly outperforming the tech giants who pour tens of billions of dollars into their closed-source systems. This isn't just a market shift, it's a radical redefinition of competitive advantage in the age of artificial intelligence. For years, the narrative in Silicon Valley was clear. The future of AI belonged to the few, the titans with the deepest pockets and the largest server farms. Think back to 2022, when OpenAI's GPT-3 shook the world. It was an unprecedented leap, a monumental achievement that seemed to validate the scaling laws hypothesis. This idea suggested that the bigger the model, the more data it ingested, and the more computational power you threw at it, the smarter it would inevitably become. Microsoft certainly bought into this, pouring an initial $1 billion into OpenAI in 2019, followed by an eye-watering $10 billion in 2023. Their bet was clear. OpenAI would be their exclusive gateway to this new, all-powerful artificial intelligence. Google, with its decades of research in DeepMind, pushed even further, developing models like LaMDA and PaLM, each with hundreds of billions of parameters, demanding data centers the size of small cities to train and run. The message was unmistakable. If you wanted to play in the AI big leagues, you needed an unfathomable amount of capital, proprietary research, and a seemingly infinite supply of processing power. This wasn't just about building technology, it was about creating an insurmountable moat around an emerging monopoly. They believed this infrastructure was the ultimate barrier to entry, locking out smaller players and cementing their dominance for decades. This concentration of power was reminiscent of the early 2010s, when cloud computing began its ascent, leading to a handful of companies controlling the vast majority of the world's digital infrastructure. Back then, if you wanted to launch a serious web service, you had to build your own data center, a prohibitive cost for most. Amazon Web Services and Microsoft Azure emerged as the gatekeepers, offering access to this compute at scale. The assumption was that AI would follow a similar trajectory. A foundational model, like GPT-4, was perceived as a kind of digital superbrain, capable of anything and everything, requiring a massive upfront investment to even exist, and once built, you had to pay per use, perpetuating the dominance of the creators. The entire industry seemed to hinge on a future where only a select few companies could ever hope to develop truly impactful AI. And then, the cracks began to show. The most profound implication of this shift is that the very definition of competitive advantage in AI has been completely rewritten. What was once a capital-intensive arms race is now a game of agility, specialization, and distributed innovation. Before this fundamental shift, you believed that to get a truly intelligent AI, you needed access to systems like GPT-4 or Google's Gemini. You imagined these monolithic proprietary models as the only viable path to advanced capabilities, right? Their massive scale seemed to guarantee their superiority across all tasks. The cost of running these behemoths, even just for inference, was substantial, acting as a natural barrier to widespread, low-cost integration into everyday applications. Developers everywhere had to pay a toll to these gatekeepers, and that toll was significant. It was like needing a supercomputer for every single calculation, even if you just wanted to balance your checkbook. But here's what changed. In July of 2023, Meta, in an unexpected move, released LLaMA2, a highly capable language model, to the open-source community, not just for research, but for commercial use under certain conditions. This wasn't just another open-source project, it was a seismic event. LLaMA2, even at its larger 70 billion parameter variant, was not as big as GPT-4, but its performance was remarkable. Crucially, it gave thousands of independent developers a powerful, free foundation to build upon. This is where the magic, or rather, the terrifying threat to OpenAI truly began. Imagine this, a massive, general-purpose encyclopedia meticulously compiled over decades by a single corporation. It's brilliant, comprehensive, but also enormous and slow to consult for a very specific fact. Now, picture an army of thousands of highly specialized researchers, each taking a copy of that encyclopedia, and then, with surgical precision, extracting and refining exactly the knowledge needed for one specific field. They augment it with specialized data, fine-tune it with particular styles, and optimize it for blazing speed on even modest hardware. These highly focused, smaller models, often with only 7 billion or even 3 billion parameters, are no longer generalists. They become world-class experts in their narrow domains. They can summarize medical research, generate specific marketing copy, or code in a particular language with a speed and accuracy that often rivals and sometimes even surpasses the larger general-purpose models from the tech giants. Think about it, an open-source model like Mistral 7 billion, trained by a French startup, quickly demonstrated an efficiency and intelligence that shocked the industry, running effectively on consumer-grade GPUs. This isn't just about having an open version of a closed model, it's about the collective intelligence of tens of thousands of developers globally, collaborating, iterating, and pushing the boundaries of what's possible, at a pace no single corporate entity can match. They're finding novel ways to compress these models through techniques like quantization, making them run on laptops, even smartphones, with startling performance. What does that mean for you? It means the cutting edge of AI is no longer trapped in a distant, expensive data center. It's coming to your local device, running offline, tailored precisely to your needs, and often completely free. This reveals a profound truth about how the tech industry really operates. Here are 3 specific, concrete insights you can use to read future tech news differently. First, the perceived moat of massive compute and proprietary data is an illusion for foundational models. Companies like OpenAI and Google might have spent billions to build the initial towering castles, but open-source communities are now building entire specialized villages around them, often with better, more adaptable structures at a fraction of the cost. The true competitive advantage is shifting from who can train the biggest model to who can fine-tune, deploy, and apply the most effective specialized models. This means when you hear about a new breakthrough from a major tech company, ask yourself, is this truly novel, or is it merely a slightly better version of something an open-source community could achieve, or perhaps already has, for a fraction of the investment? Second, this signifies a crucial pivot from generalization to hyper-specialization. The chase for artificial general intelligence, or AGI, while still a long-term goal for many, is no longer the sole defining metric of success. The immediate value is now being found in highly optimized, task-specific AI. This means that when a tech company touts their new model's ability to do everything from writing poetry to diagnosing diseases, understand that its real-world impact might be less significant than a smaller, highly focused model designed only to, say, optimize logistics for a trucking company or precisely draft legal clauses. Look for specialized applications, not just broad claims, to truly gauge impact. And third, this moment marks a significant democratization of AI power. The ability to wield highly capable AI tools is no longer exclusive to those with multi-billion-dollar budgets. This changes everything from national security debates around AI capabilities to the potential for startups to disrupt entrenched industries without needing venture capital rounds the size of small nations. If a team of 5 highly skilled engineers can build an AI assistant for a specific legal practice that outperforms Google's generalist offerings for that particular task, the entire power dynamic shifts. This is about decentralizing control, and that has profound implications for innovation, economic access, and even individual liberty. This isn't just a story about code and silicon, it's about control. The shift from centralized, corporately owned intelligence to a decentralized, community-driven ecosystem of AI represents a struggle for the very infrastructure of our digital future. If the most powerful tools for analysis, creation, and decision-making remain locked behind proprietary walls, accessible only at the whim and price of a few tech giants, that fundamentally shapes our economy, our politics, and even our individual freedoms. But if these capabilities become widely available, democratized through open-source efforts, then the power balance radically shifts. It's a fight for the digital commons, for who gets to build, innovate, and ultimately govern the world that these technologies create. The leaked memo didn't just highlight a market problem for OpenAI, it shone a blinding light on the existential threat to their carefully constructed illusion of technological superiority and inevitable monopoly. The implications of this fundamental shift are only just beginning to unfold, and they will reshape everything from global economies to the very nature of competition itself. Next, we'll dive even deeper into another carefully constructed illusion of Silicon Valley, uncovering the true cost of their innovation and who actually pays the price.